So one of the oldest mountain ranges in the entire world is at the center of this huge debate. There's a new rule, and the big question is it actually designed to protect this ancient landscape, or is it putting it in serious danger? Let's get into what's really behind this high-stakes decision.
Right now, if you look across northern India, there is a serious uproar going on. Protests are flaring up in major cities, and it all comes back to the future of the Aravalli Hills.
You know, this quote from activist Neelam Ahluwalia really nails why people are so worried. They see the Aravallis as an absolute lifeline, and they believe this new official decision threatens everything, from their water security to the very land they live on. So what is causing all of this? What one decision has sparked such a passionate and frankly massive debate? It all boils down to this: a new official definition of what an Aravalli Hill actually is. Now, this definition was proposed by a government committee and recently accepted by India's Supreme Court, and it completely changes how this ancient landscape is seen and managed, at least legally. All right, so let's take a closer look at this new definition. Because it turns out this entire firestorm, it all hangs on a single crucial number. And here it is. The new rule says that for any piece of land to be officially called an Aravalli Hill, it has to rise at least 100 meters. That's about 328 feet above the ground around it. If it's shorter than that, well, it just doesn't legally count anymore. And as you can imagine, this 100-meter rule has created two totally different ways of looking at things. On one side, you have critics and environmentalists who are, frankly, freaking out. They say this rule could exclude over 90% of the range. Their argument is that you can't define a living ecosystem just by its height. You're ignoring the vital role of all those smaller hills and potentially opening them up to mining and construction. But on the other side, the government's view is that this creates a clear, scientific standard that applies to all states, which could actually strengthen regulation. They say it protects the core areas and prevents the kind of random, piecemeal damage we've seen in the past. So, with two such opposite views, what did the Supreme Court decide? Well, their verdict wasn't a simple yes or no. It was much more of a balancing act. Okay, so this is a really crucial part. The court put some powerful safeguards in place. So yes, step one, it accepted the 100-meter definition to create some consistency. But, and this is a huge but, it also explicitly banned any mining in the most sensitive areas, protected forests, tiger reserves, wetlands. Then it put a complete freeze on all new mining leases across the entire range. And finally, it ordered that a super comprehensive plan for sustainable mining has to be created before any new activity can even be considered. So you can see the court was trying to create a clear rule while adding these really strict layers of environmental protection. Now, to really understand the passion behind all this, we've got to understand why this mountain range is so incredibly important. We're not just talking about a line of hills here. This is basically a life support system. Just take a moment to let that number sink in. 2,000 million years. This mountain range is way older than the Himalayas, older than the dinosaurs. It's one of the most ancient geological formations on the planet. I mean, it's been a silent witness to almost half of Earth's history, and it's been shaping the climate and the destiny of this whole region ever since. And what it does today is absolutely essential. The Aravallis are like a giant wall, literally holding back the Thar Desert, stopping it from spreading further. They act like a massive sponge, soaking up monsoon rains and refilling the groundwater for millions of people in a really thirsty part of the world. For a huge city like Delhi, they're the green lungs, filtering pollution and giving people clean air. And on top of all that, the range is just teeming with life, a biodiversity hotspot with dozens of wildlife sanctuaries and even 3 tiger reserves. So this isn't some small local issue. The health of these hills has national and even global consequences. And all of this brings us right back to the central problem at the heart of this entire debate. It's really a clash between our need for clear, simple rules and the incredible complexity of nature. So I guess the question we're all left with is this: can one single, simple measurement, like a 100-meter height rule, even with some good safeguards, truly be enough to protect a complex, interconnected ecosystem that has taken billions of years to evolve? That's the real question at the core of the Aravalli debate, and the answer is going to shape the future of this ancient, vital landscape.